The Importance of Art in Harm Reduction, a panel that took place after a performance of Illicit, a play by David Mendez, at the Black Lab, Vancouver BC, February 7th, 2020.
This is a coalition of peers special presentation.
So we were going to ask a couple of questions for our mixed panel up here, and I think the first question was something around how do you think that art or theater might be able to move the Vankapaus and drug user unions and survivor unions mandate forward? How is art a mechanism for doing that?
Appreciate things differently, and I think having more than just someone standing there and talking about it, art is a way to appreciate and enjoy and understand something, and it's a different way of learning, and we all have different ways of learning. It's sort of like experiencing something as a way of learning things. That's my best way, and watching things through art is a way to learn about things, and reading in a book is a way to learn about things. That's the way we tend to learn about things, which is, in my personal opinion, sort of the worst way to learn about things, because it's really a more simplified experience than being able to hear and watch and feel something as well. So
I'm just through art only we connect each other. I feel like the music and art is best for the soul speaking, the freedom coming. I used to be doing cocaine, drug, smoking. I used to be a working girl in Toronto. Monday to Sunday, I'm working every day. Even my period day, I have to go make the money, hustle. And now I feel free from connect to the me and only God myself. And through art, I feel free every day. I come out more and more who I am, true I am, because we don't define ourselves and it's not even mistake. And what's your name? My name is Yan. Yan. Yeah, I met you before.
Thank you. Sean?
Yeah, I'm an artist in many ways, and I see people transform also through art. Like it could be anything, like a painting you painted. I used to paint in front of Insight, and people come out and like, they knew more about my painting than I did. Sometimes it's funny, one time I did a painting, I called it Lost Souls. And this guy walked out, he's like, whoa, man, that's the Lost Souls of my town, man. Like, starts naming them. I'm like, whoa, that's weird that he said Lost Souls, because that's what I named the painting, you know? It's funny how we were connected in so many ways.
I believe that to understand, you have to have an imagination about it. You have to be able to dream about it. About what you want the world to be for you, and through the messages you want to deliver for yourself on behalf of yourself and your life. And I would consider myself an artist, really, more of just a realist. That it's going to take some creative thinking to get us around a lot of things that we've sort of gotten ourselves into. And it might be uncomfortable, but it was uncomfortable anyway, so there you
go. Yeah, sort of touching on what you just said, the power that art has in any sort of social change is really strong, whether it's music or poetry or painting or theater or whatever it may be, dance. In a couple of ways. In a few ways, obviously, but for us, for me, the idea of making an audience start a conversation such as this, or making an audience comfortable or uncomfortable. The uncomfortable part is something that we kind of focused on at the beginning of Illicit, and we thought that we would have a better chance of sort of getting, we thought we would have luck, I suppose, getting people at least speaking about the issues that are happening in demographics like this and in other demographics as well. But if you can make somebody uncomfortable, art has a really powerful way of doing that, and it's subjective and everybody sees it differently. But I like the idea that it can sort of like what we do back there with the shadows. We could have a set without that screen, and there would still be good. But there's something about the magic of the screen and a projector or two and a flashlight and something like that it's like actual magic. It changes how you see things, and you look at it differently, and you wonder how it's happening and if it's done well. And we're not quite there yet, but we're working on it. But oh, thanks. And yeah, I think it's amazing that you can have this human connection through this process, and that starts a larger conversation. And I think it's a powerful way to do it. You can connect with people that you generally wouldn't be. And, I mean, this is stuff that I think we probably all know. But here you go.
Okay, I don't know. In my opinion, art is like it opens up people's minds. It opens up their eyes, especially for like closed-minded people. Like for example, there's a song called "Drug Addiction" by a man named Kalichi, and he basically explains about his addiction and how he got through it just by singing a song about his addiction.
Art is beautiful, my friend.
Art is very beautiful. It, like I just said, it opens up a lot of minds. I used to DJ in the past when I was living in Alberta, and music has opened up my mind a lot over the years. And
A lot of Merle Haggard.
I was feeling a little haggard yesterday.
Wait. We got to get this on the fucking... Get the fucking thing. Talking to the mic. We have to record this for funding because no one gives us goddamn money, VCH. We're talking to you in this recording, and you're going to listen to it, CIE, the BC CDC. What is art?
Art is basically it's a channel. It's like it gives you the ability to share an emotion, pretty much. Like you can just, reading just text, like a textbook is just blunt, just information. But literature you can actually, you can just touch people's emotions. That allows people to empathize with you and actually feel like completely separated from your situation. Can just understand where you're coming from more because they can actually basically empathize with you because you can share what it's like, pretty much.
True. Gina, your turn.
It's my first one ever, and I was just really surprised how good it was, and I enjoy it. If there's more, I'll probably come go to one in the future. Okay, thank you.
Ricky on art.
Okay, as far as art goes, I feel it's more beneficial to watch it and listen rather than having somebody come up and talk to you for 45 minutes, which gets very boring.
That's true. That was your statement?
Yeah, that was my statement.
It was good.
Art, sometimes not boring. I like it.
Like at this Alyssa show, which was amazing, and they should give us more money. Hey, VCH, you're listening to this? Give us more money. Hey, CIE, give us more money. Hey, Prairie, you're in the audience. Are you drinking a non-alcoholic beverage? Because we can get you some alcohol, buy a case of beer
It's
into
safe,
the back.
we promise. The drinks here are safe. Yeah, we get the best supply.
Unless I'm serving them. Ha 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 ha. No, this is a joke.
Does anyone have any questions in the audience for any of the panel members? Anything that you want to comment on about the show, about safe supply, about themes of poverty, housing, the Balmoral? Definitely, let's not focus on me at all, please.
I noticed that you chose to kind of highlight the dual roles of a lot of the characters, right? You have the the dealer that's also doing the first responding, the person that was incarcerated that is now a trainer, the politician that's also a user. Talk about that choice too. I'm curious why you chose to kind of illustrate those dual roles. And
that happened sort of organically, I think. We, the only thing I kind of had in my brain for this show was the window, really. And we were approached by Renai Morisseau about the Heart of the City Festival in October, and there was a very short time frame to put a show together, an original piece that was new. And so we decided to use existing characters and just sort of I think Nick said it. What did you say? Something about
Into the mic.
he said something about your character, his development. But it wasn't that; it was something else. But he said it much more poetically. But we decided to use those characters, and the way that this show was I kind of just conceived of a idea, and then they all wrote their own vignettes and parts. And Una, I proposed the window idea to her, and I thought that she'd say you're insane, but because other people didn't really get it, but she took to it really well, and then that just sort of happened, like the idea of the dealer and the OPS worker, and because it's a bit of all of us, sort of, and the father is sort of a bit of all of us, and so we just thought it'd be, I think, it was a natural way to do it because it just seemed relatable, and it was also something that we were familiar with, so that's how that happened, I guess.
I like that. I'm going to comment on that's a really great question. I also think that life is duplicitous, and that we all struggle. That's part of humanity. We all struggle. How do we survive in this system? How do we survive getting all of our needs met? And there are multiple ways in which we do that. There is, we don't have one identity. When people come downtown and they see one person, but like a multitude of that same person, that's not true. Every single person has a rich and complex history and a story, and that if we can in any way in the characterization of what it is that we're doing here show that people make really hard choices, they make the choices that they make in moments that multiplies who they are. And people have so many different aspects of themselves, facets. That's why you know when you're a real gem when you have multiple facets. So, wah wah.
Hey, this one's on me. I get paid so much money. If anyone wants a fucking drink, it's get drinking. Yeah, well, don't be a hog. Have a single drink.
Let's
I
give it
try
up for the
to
man with the beer.
get things that people would like. Look, I'm like, we're all so depressed. I think a major, I'm like, we're having this morbid conversation about art where everyone's like, no.
Morbid.
Be enthusiastic, though. Cheers for beers and
rare and
challenging
powerful
ourselves,
times.
doing outsider theater and things that are beautiful that will revolutionize society. Because in 10 years, people are going to look at this fucking space and be like, what the hell is that shithole in the downtown east side that they were doing community fucking events and fun stuff at? And it'll be burnt into the ground and be a condo and we'll all be dead. Well,
Jenny
okay,
Hawkinson.
not all of us. Kurt's going to be alive. Prairie's going to be alive. What, are we all pointing at each other and being like, you're going to be alive? Ricky's going to live forever. I think he's immortal. So, does anyone else want to drink? They're right here.
Jenny Hawkinson. Can you,
you've been doing Illicit for a while now, right? A few years?
4 years, yeah.
4 years. So what's surprised you in the journey of Illicit from when you started to where you are now?
That we're still here. No.
Agreed.
What surprised me the most is just how powerful and rare these times are, and that they're just continuing on. And it's the tragedy is hard to take, obviously, but just like I said in the play, man, it's so beautiful. It scares me. The potential I see, blossoming here in multiple ways. It's pretty fantastic.
Hey, here's a thought, Sean, and you can comment on this in terms of artistic potential, because I think you have had a beautiful 4 years of theater productions, but they're going to cut all our fucking funding. What do you have to say? Hey, Prairie, you're going to give us more money? Hey, start talking about it, because we all got to know, because this was beautiful. So, Sean, money's running out. What are we going to do?
What are we going to do?
What are we going to do?
I don't know, sell drugs? but only pure drugs. Good drugs.
Oh
Ones
my
that
God,
don't
I
kill.
love you guys so much. I mean, funding isn't getting cut. It just runs out. In this case, it's not the same as having it withdrawn. But that is the thing.
That's the most fucking Orwellian thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
But here's the rub, and here was the thing that was really hard about our first run of Illicit, was that we created this fucking gorgeous community. We were working every single day together, 5 days a week. Everybody had money in their pocket. People were sending money home. People were buying themselves fucking iPhones and iPods, and everybody was showing up for work. What we were doing was meaningful. We had a family. We traveled around BC. We spoke to a bunch of people, and then the funding ran out, and we fell apart. We all fell apart. We had been doing the most meaningful thing that we had ever been doing, and we all just died inside, and we really struggled to figure out how we were going to keep it going, because we were ready to level up and do the next thing. We were ready to workshop with other people to each one teach one, to show the rest of the community how they might be able to put together their own stories and their own work, and begin to do that, what people like to call knowledge translation in the funding world. But really what it is showing people how to be together and then giving them money to do that work. And it fucking sucked. So now we hustle. Now we hustle because there is no such thing as like renewable funding. So if there's anyone listening in any of this who has this idea of there just being a auto renewal for projects that are going, and you can do that, it would be really fucking great, and would keep projects going and help them get some traction and maybe be able to, I don't know, save a couple of lives.
In the 4 years since Illicit started, what have you learned along the journey, and what has surprised you from then to now?
How in love I am with my Illicit crew. Yeah. Out of all of the things that I do, this is the most meaningful. That was a big surprise.
That was probably the best compliment that we got. That was where we were sometime around the Orpheum show, and I think you were at as well. And you said that this project was the most meaningful thing you did, and I was like, wow, that's really cool. And for me, it's very similar. It's the surprise was how it affected the group and myself in the process, and how like the growth that I had and everybody else during periods of showtime. So it might be 3 months a year or something like that, and then trying to get it sustainable is the goal, so that we can kind of have cooperative work and collaborative work. Like this is what we're kind of doing with Eris and the how did you say Van Kapow? And Van Kapow. And so we're trying to do some more projects that way, so we can continue sort of a more sustainable project. But what surprised me was how I felt, I guess, about growth. Donahue?
Hey, this sounds like you ever go to a play when you're in grade, 4 or 5, and they're like, everyone asks the people in the play questions, and I'm like, we got a very smart audience. Hey, look, I might be Springer, I might be Donahue. No. But yeah, shut up. I'm like, we got a lot of rage in the audience, and everyone's being like, oh, it was a really nice time to get this funding and blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, we're making a monument to culture here. And that's what I think the show was tonight. And I think, hey, shut it. It's great. You guys are amazing. And I'm like, can we just produce some kind of vitriolic filth? Can everyone just say all the things they're angry about and how we're all getting murdered. If you do drugs, you die. If you don't do drugs, you die. If you're poor, you die. If you live here, you die. Gina, you're down, and Gina's down as fuck. I love Gina. I love all of you. You two are being fucking boring, David and Una, because you come from this background where you gotta like talk all nicey nice. So we're gonna do a lightning round. Three words. 3 words about the crisis we're living in, which is majorly a crisis of government failure. Noel. 3 words.
Poverty, destruction, crisis.
Ricky, 3 words.
I think it stinks.
I think it stinks. Gina, 3 words.
I don't know right now. I can't think.
Do you hate the cops? Do you hate the government of Canada?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Big time.
Are they motherfuckers?
Yep, they are.
Ricky, are they motherfuckers?
Big time.
3 words or less. What do you think about art and the current crisis we're living in that's killing all our friends?
Hope, potential, possibility.
Hope, potential, possibility. That was amazing. That was super positive.
Upside down.
Upside down. Give us clean drugs now, motherfuckers.
I love you.
You love me? I love you too. I love all of you. Oh, I can find you clean drugs. What do you want? David, god damn it, you're gonna fucking walk off stage. Devin. Devin, the boy. 3 words. Crisis prohibition.
Vote for Ricky.
Vote for Ricky. Ricky for mayor. Fuck, we got all these honkies in government. Ricky for mayor, Gina for vice mayor, Una.
The fuckery.
The
fuckery.
The fuckery. Anyone else? This guy. Let's get this. 3 words or less. What's wrong with society?
Homelessness is not good.
Homelessness is not good. No, it's not. Fucking kill the mayor. Kill everyone. Kill Chip Wilson. Boom, boom, boom. Ring his doorbell. He's right there. Hey, I can say as many words as I want. I run the academy. I give the goddamn awards. You got something to say?
Fuck the funders.
Fuck the funders. Who wants some crystal meth? We got fucking alcohol. If anyone wants some fucking shards, I got them. 3 words.
I think we need to understand each other, like compassion to you, what's happening. It's not the funny thing, People doesn't know what's happening. It's not funny. It's not the joking thing.
Victoria, you're leaving?
Yeah, just like I want to understand you and listen each other.
You want to understand me? I'm a fucking drug-addicted, alcoholic piece of shit, and I run an idiot punk venue in the downtown east side. And what up? I love you all, and this is why we're here. Let's get into it. Here we go. Get the mic untangled.
Lest we forget being homeless. The only thing worse than being homeless, I think, is being homeless on stolen land.
The other thing before everyone has to go, but I think I don't know your name, and David had also said something, Devin, about art being connecting, and I didn't say that when Ricky had spoke originally. I added on to your comment, but I do think that, I had moments watching this, I felt emotional, and I think that because personally, I have moments in my life with people downtown here that are so really sad and upsetting and just really hard, that talking about it sometimes isn't even something that gives me any relief. And it was nice to see moments where I felt like it was just understood or something, and you didn't have to talk about it. So I think that's the other thing art can do, and music too, of course. It can make you feel like I'm not alone, and that's connecting. And then connection, the last thing I have to say, is sort of the epitome of what we need in our world, and we don't have it. Capitalism has destroyed that for us, and connecting with each other, you've said that, loving each other is actually what heals us, what keeps us safe, and so I think art does that.
Money doesn't do anything. It's total systems change, overhaul. Anyway, I love you all. I gotta run. And I leave you in the very capable hands of everybody else here.
Good night, Black Lab. We're going to listen to Wu-Tang Clan. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to a Coalition of Peers podcast.
This is a